Welcome back. This is part 2 of my mock draft. Let's get it started. With the 11th pick, I'm picking the New York Giants to select a trade. I think the Giants are going to trade with the New Orleans Saints. Reason why is because a tweet I saw this morning that New Orleans had those googly eyes thing, and there's been a lot of talk on the path to the draft thing or something like that on NFL Network about the Saints moving up. So I'm picking the Saints to move up and select Caleb Farley. They really like Caleb Farley, and I think they're gonna get him. Simple as that. He does have COVID, so that could be something that weighs on them a little bit before making the trade. But that's who I picked them to take. Number 12 pick. The number 12 pick. What am I talking about? The 12th pick. The Philadelphia Eagles. I'm picking them to select Devontae Smith, the former Heisman winner. Smith brings a lot of speed, and his route running is pretty amazing. And even though his weight is a bit of a concern, I think that over time that he's in the NFL, he will gain weight, and he will balance out. And just the unbelievable talent that Smith has it's incredible. Moving on to the LA Chargers, and they're gonna pick Christian Darycelle. I think that Darycelle is unbelievable in protection, and the things that he can do as far as giving Justin Herbert good protection and being that cornerstone player for your franchise QB. That's what I believe the Chargers have in Darycelle. So, moving on to the 14th pick. That's what I meant. I think the Vikings are going to take Michigan defensive end Kwity Paye. Danielle Hunter, his health status, and just he just doesn't really like his contract right now, and I think the Vikings are willing to move in a different direction with getting another defensive end, an edge rusher who can be a star in the sleep. Moving on to the 15th pick, the New England Patriots. This guy should not have fallen here, but because of how this draft's been working out, I think he will fall. I think the New England Patriots are going to select Penn State linebacker Makai Parsons. Parsons reminds me of in terms of athleticism, you could compare him to Isaiah Simmons, but in terms of talent, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, some of those guys. Parsons, amazing run stopper, and I think that he's definitely the best linebacker in this draft. That's what I'm very excited for. For the Patriots, they get Makai Parsons, Kyle Van Noy, and that defense just becomes so much better. And then you think about Matthew Judon as an edge rusher. Parsons is going to be able to go from... he's going to be able to move horizontally, vertically, diagonally, the same ways that I feel Luke Kuechly did when he was with Carolina. Of course, Parsons did not have the incredible IQ that Luke Kuechly has because, well, let's face it, nobody does. But I do feel like Makai Parsons has that ability to move everywhere on the field, stop the run, play good coverage, and he's going to be amazing for New England. Moving on to the 16th pick, the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to take Pat Surtain out of Alabama. Patrick Surtain. He fell down here. By a lot of NFL analysts, he's being chosen as like the best cornerback in this class. But I think with the Cowboys preferring J.C. Horn and the Saints really wanting Caleb Farley. I think Patrick Surtain falls here, but with Patrick Peterson leaving to go to Minnesota, the Cardinals are going to need a long-term replacement for Peterson, and that's where I see Pat Surtain being that long-term replacement. Moving on to the 17th pick, the Raiders. The Raiders and Washington and Chicago. I would have picked all of these teams to move up for a QB, but I think that they would have to give up a lot to move into the top 10 considering where they are right now, and I don't see them really taking Kyle Trask. I see them waiting for day 2 and then moving up in day 2 to get a quarterback, whether it's Kyle Trask or Mills out of Stanford or Jamie Newman. So there's a lot of options in round 2 that the Raiders, the Bears, and the football team are considering. So I think the Raiders here are going to go with USC offensive lineman Alicia Vera-Tucker. The Raiders need some offensive line help. They just declined. And they didn't really get, in terms of offensive line help, and they didn't really get Derek Carr the help that he needs in the offseason. And that's what I feel the Raiders should do here, even if Derek Carr is not your long-term solution at quarterback, right? At the 18th pick, the Miami Dolphins. I think they're going to go with Jamin Davis at linebacker. The Dolphins lost Kyle Van Noy, or they released him, and I feel like they could use some linebacker help, and Davis provides that. He's an off-ball linebacker, and he's going to fit really well with Miami. Moving on to Washington. I think Washington is going to pick Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not honestly too sure. The football team does have a weakness at linebacker. Their defensive line is incredibly strong. Probably, in my opinion, the best, or one of the best in a few years. Defensive lines in the whole league, with Chase Young and Montez Sweat really carrying the load, and Washington needs some linebacker help, and Owusu-Koramoah, he definitely provides that good linebacker help. So moving on to the 20th pick, the last pick of this video. See, I did not make the mistake of saying draft. See, I'm not that bad. I think the Chicago Bears are going to end up picking Kadarius Toney, wide receiver out of Florida. The Bears have got Allen Robinson, but for how long, right? Robinson will end up probably requesting a trade or just refusing to play for Chicago. Chicago's still terrible, which honestly they probably will be this year again. And Robinson wants to go somewhere where he can win, and that's clearly not Chicago for the next few years. So you want to add somebody who you think that could be Robinson's replacement, and Kadarius Toney could be that. Thank you all so much for watching. Part 3 coming out very, very shortly as we get set for the draft in a little over 7 hours of recording. Thank you. Peace.